Okay, so everybody, this is PDX Dinner DAO's live stream of the week. The panel today, we have two speakers talking about the bear market and their strategies for thriving and surviving. We've got Evan and Matthew sharing today on their strategies, two successful decentralized finance investors, and they will share their strategies for thriving, not just surviving, but thriving, which they are doing.
Oh yeah.
So stay tuned, because we love decentralized finance because it has allowed us to become free, financially free, and live off of passive income, many of us for the first times in our lives. So with that being said, Evan, are you starting? Who's starting?
Yeah, let's switch the flow.
And I will say that I'm typically there in person, but I am traveling at the moment, so I am.
Here's gonna come in.
So take it away, Evan.
All right. Hey everybody, my name's Evan. Okay, might as well just bring it in a little bit, unless you don't want to. But yeah, my name's Evan. I started investing in the crypto space late 2017. Basically, just doing as much research as I could, figuring out where's the best place to put the money or my money, and endless YouTube videos, endless forums. Just trying to use what I had, which was not a lot to glean from. I had no network, had any knowledge about this kind of stuff that we're talking about. Nobody in my family was an investor, really. Everybody works. And then, like I said, there's nobody I knew in any way, shape, or form that had any sort of idea what we're talking about when it comes to either investing, especially into cryptocurrencies and things like that. So yeah, my first bear market was after probably 2018, late 2018. I watched my portfolio go from, $2,000 to probably 25 to 30. And I was more excited than anything in my whole life. And unfortunately, I didn't sell anything. I just held kept steadfast, kept dollar cost averaging into projects that I thought had potential. And in hindsight, I didn't have a strategy. I had nobody to show me this stuff, so I was just kind of trial by fire. I accidentally sent $2,000 worth of Ethereum to a null address. Hundreds of thousands of dollars now are now gone because I made a newbie mistake. But you live and learn. But luckily, I held. I didn't panic sell. I didn't do anything other than just well, shit, there goes all my value. But I still believe in these things. I still see a future in these things. We're still early. So I held. I kept throwing money in, dollar cost averaging into my top picks for years, really. And then, went from $25,000 back down to $5,000, whatever, 4,000. So that section where it was worth that much was a lot longer. It was a couple of years before this last bull run that we had. But it got to the point where I just didn't pay attention to it anymore. I literally I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't check out I wouldn't even look at my portfolio for months at a time because it was just there was no value there anymore. But luckily I didn't shoot myself in the foot. I did not sell anything. And lo and behold, I check it a couple months later or whatever, and my portfolio tracker, and it went from, again, 3,000, 5,000 to 50 something thousand. So again, I was reinvigorated with my want, need, and desire to pay attention to this stuff, do research, put more money in. Obviously, you need to put money in to make money, but bottom line, I did not sell. I might have taken a little bit of profits here and there, but up, down, I'm steadfast. I held. And again, I should have taken profits when it was up to 50,000, but without a strategy, without a network, without somebody to help you like him or somebody like Carl, who's experienced as an investor to help give you that kind of insight so you can make more informed decisions. I was just, will somebody grab the door for him? I was just trying to do the best I could with what I had. And, I look back and it's all a great learning lesson, but that taught me to take profits whenever things really do pump. What's up, guys? Doesn't mean sell your whole bag, but like if you can take profits here and there, nobody ever went broke for taking profits, as this guy would say. But either way, so it went down, up, down, up, down, up. It went down again after that. And so that was my second bear market that I withstood. Enough time went by to where I had my sea legs a little bit. I kind of understood what I was doing. I got better at profit taking. I got better at doing research. I'm timing the tops. I'm timing the bottoms a little bit better. Not that anybody can do it perfectly, but yeah. Either way, that whole time, the only way that I survived the bear market was having a job. I know nobody wants to hear that, but I had to have a job. I wasn't able to just live off my dividends or my assets, or else I'd have gotten rid of them all by now. So I guess for me, or most people on a normal level of investment, the only way you're going to be able to withstand the bear market in reality is to have some sort of legitimate income source. Doesn't matter what the hell it is. It could be illegitimate for all I care. But whatever gets the bills paid while you're sitting there and prepping for when the next pump happens or the next bull market. Again, I know nobody wants to hear that, but that's what I had to do for years and years and years, just like everybody else. Got to work. But again, I was steadfast. I didn't just shoot myself in the foot. I didn't sell. And for this next bull market that we just experienced a couple of months ago, or 8 months ago, the last year, whatever time, I had learned how to take profits from the years past. So I, actually was making money, not just sitting looking at it raise and lower in value, but actually taking money out of the system. And then along comes DeFi. Again, I've been holding all these assets. I've been chilling on a pretty good little setup of a pretty diverse crypto portfolio of top 10s, bottom 10,000s, micro caps, you name it. I've got lots. But ever since I started looking into DeFi, like for real, I had heard about it 2020, 2019, whenever it was like invented, but I never really paid it too much attention because it was just like, it was seedy. There's a lot of people looking for money and scams, or people looking to steal money in every way, shape, or form. So this is just like a whole new untapped version of the crypto space that was just rife with people and entities, not always trying to help people make money. Decentralized finance, from my perspective, is if you look at the normal finance sector and how it's controlled and how it's centralized, it's like being able to give people the similar opportunities to leverage their funds and their assets and their wealth in a way that doesn't just line the pockets of the top 10 banks or the top owners of Fidelity or E-Trade or whatever, who's already skimming profit from and giving government subsidies to do so. I saw DeFi once I really understood what it could be, or what it could be used for, was to give us little guys and gals, or big guys, at any size, the ability to leverage your wealth in a way that's never been seen before, from me at least. I think we can all agree. We've never seen anything like this before. At least I haven't. But my point of all this holding and this and that was, I held BNB, for example, for 4+ years, 5 years, before I sold 1 penny. And when I saw the right opportunity come in front of me, I used a lot of these gains from this, that, and the other to even further diversify into other protocols, other products, other development teams, other coins, projects, whatever you want to call it. But bottom line, now that I have escaped from the rat race and I don't have to go to work anymore, and I make more money than I've ever made in my entire life without doing anything per se, I realized that whole buying and holding things is great, as a store of value, but at the end of the day, it's not going to give you financial independence unless you're rolling with some serious cash. If I would have put $30,000 in BNB when I was a kid, I would already be set for the rest of my life. But I didn't. I didn't have 50K to throw around back then. So I let all this grow, and eventually found protocols in the DeFi space that allow me to leverage my wealth to generate yield, as in me holding BNB doesn't do jack shit for me unless I sell it. If you sell enough BNB or Bitcoin, whatever it is, eventually you have none. So we all know this, it's investment 101. So what has really changed my entire life, my entire family's life, my entire friend group's life is really finding protocols that are developed properly by people you can hopefully trust. You don't know anything in reality, but after a while, you'll start to see communities and the sentiment and how people speak to each other and the intelligence level of a community around a project or an ecosystem. And you'll see there are winners and there are losers, right? So after getting into numerous winners and not just holding coins, but producing dividends and yield off of my assets, the main project I would recommend is called Drip. It's no lie here. Everybody hears us proselytizing about Drip, but no matter what's happening in the market, I produce a yield every day, all day, and I can't tell you how much more useful that is than a coin pumping to whatever extent might be good, but eventually you're going to get rid of them. If you want to make money in this equation, you sell what you have at a profit or at a loss or whatever the hell you want. So for me, what's really allowed me to not just survive, but thrive, like more than I ever would have been able to comprehend in my entire life, is finding protocols like Drip that produce income for me, regardless of what Bitcoin's doing, regardless of what Binance Coin is doing, or Ethereum, or the housing market, or the stock market, the NASDAQ, whatever the hell is going up or down, let it. Because I'm still producing income on a scale that has allowed me to not only secure my family's generational wealth, but allow me to help literally hundreds of people just not only develop an investor mindset of people like to hop in crypto especially, and they think that it's going to be quick, get rich quick kind of scheme. Keyword being scheme, because most things that get you rich real quick are they're using profits to pay you out from capital cycling in and out. And as we all know, those are not going to be sustainable for very long. You can make money and things like that, but at the end of the day, I bet on yield. I bet on time in the market, not timing the market, because unless you got a crystal ball that works, it's just gambling. It's a straight up gamble whether you're going to get real low or real high with these coins, or any stock for that matter. But at the end of the day, I would much rather be producing income and dividends and profits no matter what the market's doing. And I'm definitely not going to look back now. But with that being said, now that I have an asset, a true asset that provides me income, I can I can buy Bitcoin. I can buy those things that I was just trash talking. I can buy Binance coin, but instead of buying this much, I can buy that much. And then let's say Binance does a 10x, you know, well, not only am I just use all of my profits, like not my own principal, but I'm using profits to diversify, which reduces the risk for me by like, I'm gonna go ahead and say 100%. I'm gonna go ahead and say 90+ percentile risk aversion, because I'm not throwing around my money that I had to go work my ass off for anymore. My money is working for me, and what I do with it is up to me. You know, if I want to give Carl $1,000 and this or that, I can do that. If I want to buy BNB at a larger price point, I can do that. You know, so it's just being able to have something that produces no matter what the markets are doing is by far has given me the best sleep, and I sleep so damn soundly every night knowing that I'm helping my family and my community and my friends by educating them about this stuff, to where now they can leverage it, and then they can show it to their friends, and they can do whatever they want with it, or they can just be solo, you know, live a happy life in the islands or wherever you want to live. But yeah, and then through all this process, we all end up meeting people, like we all meet each other here. And the more you develop your network, the more insights you have into, like I said, I started all this off and I had 0 people on my team. It was just me. I made mistakes. I trial by fire. I lost a lot of money. I made a lot of money. I lost a lot of money. I made a lot of money. And that's the kind of shit that you can't just teach that to somebody. You either have to experience it. I mean, it helps to have people who can warn you about certain things, but warnings are different than like getting your ass kicked by the market. Like, okay, that's what he was talking about. That's what he said not to do. Don't click on that. But yeah, now we all sit in a room full of different minds, different skill sets, different wealth levels, and we're all for the better. I think we're all doing better by knowing each other, and I would not be here if I didn't get into crypto when I was a kid. And DeFi is just another iteration, another step, another level in the evolution of where this space has grown from. So yeah, that's about all I got. All right, I'm gonna pass it over to this guy and let you listen to his voice.
Howdy, I'm Matthew. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing that I say is financial advice. I'm also not a tax professional, and neither is this guy over here. So, bear market survival. First off, what's a bear market? I don't know. I didn't even look it up. I'm just thinking, well, it's not at an all-time high, and it's been going down for a while. The point between all-time high and the next all-time low, up till then all-time low, I suppose I would just call that a bear. So Bitcoin was at, I don't know, 60 something, and now it's at 23. So yeah, it's a bear. How do you survive these things? Well, it helps if you took profits at a prior bull market. So some of this just depends on where you are in your crypto journey. So if you're just starting the bear market, like this is crypto winter that we're having right now, at the bottom of the market for anything. You want to flip houses, you want to trade stocks, you want to buy anything cheap, fix it up and sell it for a profit. You want the biggest discount that you can get. So if you've got a crystal ball that works, mine's been broken my entire life. It's kept me alive, but you know, it hasn't made me very many profits. So I can't time it. But knowing that everything is in a cycle. Everything is cycles. Everything. That's climate, stocks, everything, real estate, everything has cycles. Okay, so from top to bottom, now you're at the bottom edge, whatever that is. I think we already saw the bottom. That was when Bitcoin hit 17 or something like that. And now we're just going to crab sideways. I don't know, 9 months, 15 months, no idea. But I think we've already seen the bottom. That's not a prediction. I don't know. My crystal ball is broken.
I disagree.
Okay, yeah. You think it'll hit 12? Okay. That's what Richard Hart said. 13, I think. Anyway, So understanding that it cycles and that the cycle isn't going to end with this cycle. I don't know how many cycles it's going to go through, but I suspect crypto is unstoppable. Blockchain is going to take over the world, and no matter what any governments do to ban this or ban that or regulate this and the other thing, this is unstoppable. There's too many hackers involved. There's too many sovereign-minded individuals out there who are like, it's my money, leave me alone. I mean, most people already don't obey the law, so like, to get a little bit political, when the government says, hey, we're going to take all your guns, all they do is raise gun sales, right? So like, okay, I'll just buy more. So that being said, I don't think this is the last bear market that we'll see in crypto. I don't think this last bull market is the last bull market we'll see. So it's going to be around for a while. The bear market is your best entry. Buy low, sell high. And even if that means that you're buying low right now and maybe you're waiting for a year before it starts pumping again. But if you can accumulate, right? So you have a job, the same thing that your financial advisors at your corporation, open up a Roth IRA and out of every check put $200 in it or something like that. You just make it a habit. You're just accumulating. When the bull market or when pumps happen, take some profits. Take some stable points, sit them on the side, pay off some debt, stack up some cash reserves because shit happens in real life too. And also keep a stack on the side of stable points for more bear markets and corrections, right? Your favorite project, some bad news comes out, some FUD, it does a 50% correction a day. If you've done the research, you like the project, you think it has legs, you think it's going to be around for a while, and you're betting on this project long term, buy. I mean, I remember, not crypto, but Martha Stewart. She gets indicted, goes to jail, whatever, the stock dumps. And I remember having this conversation, man, I should buy that stock. She's not going to be in jail for very long. She's a queen. She's coming back. And this is going to totally recover. I should have bought some, right? As soon as the day she gets out of jail, price pumps again. Like that was a no-brainer, right? It's oversold. Okay, so you're the same thing for anything else, and this goes for stocks or real estate or crypto. You're looking for arbitrage opportunities, right? When it's something overvalued or undervalued, right? And it's undervalued, in your opinion, right? I mean, we're all speculating here as well, right? So no guarantees on any of this stuff. But if you think it's undervalued, buy. If you think it's overvalued, take profits. If you can get to the point, or I should say, the sooner you can get to the point in your experience, and your journey is going to involve lots of mistakes, right? Because there's no way to, Evan said it, there's no way to just read a book or watch some YouTube video on what you should do. Like me giving you a book on how to ride a bicycle or something like that, that doesn't make you able to ride a bicycle at all. Like you've got to fall off bikes. You have to practice this stuff. But getting in, splashing around, making your mistakes, learning what the red flags are, in your opinion, for a project, right? You see the leader of a project starts doing just weird stuff, like, okay, maybe it's time to start looking for the door. Or, the leader of a project starts coming up with some extra bullish news about what's coming down the pipe. Well, maybe it's time to buy some more because people love buying. Well, we love to speculate on the future, right? It's that will buy the rumor, sell the news. So if somebody comes out and says, oh, we're coming out with this thing next year, the price goes up. You can wait a year and sell it. Or you can sell it right then. Anyway, set yourself up for the next bull market in the bear market. This is what you're doing. So bear market is just an accumulation phase. Now, if the price is just doing this every day, coming down at 45-degree, 90-degree angle straight down, maybe you don't try to buy it today, right? Maybe you're waiting for somebody else to discover a bottom, and maybe it starts moving to accumulation, right, where it's higher highs and higher lows. Those are also ridiculously hard to time, right? Because there's a lot of people who are staring at those charts thinking the same thing. So a bottom can disappear in no time flat. I mean, crypto is incredibly volatile. So I think what I've ended up doing is coming up with a wild ass guess of what I think the bottom of my favorite project is. And then I start scaling and I just start buying more as it's approaching what I think the bottom is going to be. I've been wrong every single time, but I don't have anybody else's judgment to go off of. I only have my own judgment, my own experience, and my own risk tolerance. But yeah, it's bear market. It's a good time to enter ish. I mean, it's better than the top of a bowl. So having reserves on the side to take advantage of those next corrections, like that's why you have to take profits. You have to take profits. If your thing pumps, sell some of it. Not saying, and I don't, unless your crystal ball is telling you this project is dead, right, and it just doesn't know it yet, then you don't want to completely exit. You still want to move back, right? And I've got in and out of one particular project like 4 times. I'm like, oh no, this is it. Just take the loss and walk away. And a month later, I'm looking at the price, like, why didn't I keep some of this stuff? You know, and then a month, you know, so I get back in. And a month later, like, oh no, it's over, and I get out. A month later, like, why didn't I stay in? You know, so anyway, from loss to loss to loss, because it's just not dying. I should have just kept some in there. If you've got something that's earning things, like I'm not a hodler, like Evan, I don't, when I started in crypto, the first thing I bought Bitcoin, Cardano, Doge was profitable. And then I got bored immediately. Like, what do I do here? Just stare at this chart. Like, how do I make money doing this? I have to sell these things. Like, this is stupid. What am I in stocks? So a friend turned me onto this YouTuber who was in DeFi. I just started, I don't know, throwing money at the things that he's showing videos of him pulling profits out of them. So that completely changed my life. When I went full degen, DeFi, speculating on crazy things, and over 1,000 projects to learn what I consider red flags and, you know, check marks, I guess. You know, like, this is a gold star and that's a death star. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so just, I mean, you have to splash around. That's it. I mean, not financial advice, but there's so many things that you can put money into. And if you're putting a tiny percentage of your portfolio, and I'm going to say your portfolio, and that includes everything, that's all of your assets, right? So your real estate, you got stocks, you got a big job, whatever, your portfolio is whatever. Put in a tiny percentage, right? It's your risk tolerance, right? Whether that's 1% of your portfolio, where you're like me, you're like, I'm all in. I max out all my credit cards, and I'm, you know, 300% into DeFi. I got nothing on the side. If this doesn't work, well, they can only hang you once, right? So if you are levered up, right? You've used credit cards, you've used leverage trading or something like that. When the price starts to pump, you have to take those profits so you can de-risk, right? You have to reduce that exposure, pay off credit cards, you know, cover whatever leverage positions that you have. Robert Kiyosaki talked a lot about assets versus liabilities versus doodads. So for Kiyosaki, an asset is something that puts money in your pocket. Liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. And a doodad is just some stupid thing that, you know, like, it's just tchotchkes, it's junk. Maybe you like them, but it's junk. It doesn't do anything for you. Your time horizon, right? Are you young? Are you looking to build up a huge future? In that case, you're going to want to invest as much as you can. Not financial advice, but I mean, this is what the Roth IRA guy told me when I was 18. You know, like, you're putting money into your future. So if your time horizon is long, you know, like, say you're buying a rental property, right? It's not cash flowing a lot, but you're looking at this thing, hold it for 40 years. Does it matter that it's only cash flowing a little bit right now? Because over that time, you can expect a bunch of appreciation, right? But buying that sucker when you're 20 and then having it still when you're 40, you've got a nice asset. It's throwing off cash flow. Probably might be paid off by this point. You can leverage that thing. You don't even have to sell it. You can pull out home equity lines on it. You can do all sorts of interesting things with it because it's an asset. And I encourage you to think about everything in terms of assets and liabilities and doodads. I try not to buy a lot of doodads, try not to buy any liabilities. I have purchased many liabilities in crypto, and so far the assets have far outweighed the liabilities, but I would be a lot farther along if 99% of the things that I put money into were still around 3 months after I put money into them. This is an accumulation phase. That's what a bear market is to me. It's time to buy. You know, you scale into that how you want to scale into it, come up with your own goals. But it's an accumulation phase. You buy low. You know the bull market's coming back. There's going to be some crazy news comes out. Some project's going to have some great news, or just some macro condition, or the Fed's going to raise rates or lower rates or something like that, and a bunch of money is going to flow in. It happens, and it can happen like that. And you can look at any of these charts and just look at those suckers on the, you know, the 1 day or the lower time frame.
Chart should cycle.
Yeah, no, I don't care. Oh yeah, you can. Oh yeah. And so Spirits will pull up the charts, but anyway, you can see crazy fast volatility. So trying to time it next to impossible, but coming in anywhere near the bottom with the next big pump, holy crap, can that be profitable? And you know, vice versa too. Don't stare at the charts all day unless you're trying to trade or you want to drive yourself nuts. I forget who it was who said, but if you're invested in something and you're spending all day long staring at those charts, you are in the wrong space. Get out. This will give you a heart attack. You're going to die. You can't handle this. Like you need something lower risk. Yeah, networking, education. This is all not financial advice. Do your own research. You could join programs where people talk about, oh, we're going to teach you how to do this, that, and the other thing. But for the most part, just splashing around. Just hop in, make your mistakes, make friends, learn from your mistakes. I think that everybody needs to have their own custom-built spreadsheet, so you're tracking your own performance. You should know everything about what you are up to, so you can see how you're doing over time. Am I getting better at this? Am I getting worse at this? You know, but having metrics will help you narrow in on what your actual strengths and weaknesses are, and better than just guessing. Because when we just guess about ourselves, we're either over optimistic or over pessimistic. Like when we hold up a mirror to ourselves, we're not good at seeing that crap.
How do you data track?
Oh, I've got a massive spreadsheet. I spent my spreadsheet is 100% me. I built it. It took me months to build and tweak and upgrade. Yeah, but I've got tons of metrics. I've got 50 different charts that I'm tracking that are just charts on my portfolio. They're not, they roughly match the price of my favorite token because I'm so heavily invested in it. If it goes up, my whole portfolio goes up. With that being said, I've got everything. I've got income versus expenses. I've got a 7-day moving average, 14, 30, 60, 90, 45, 180 all time. I've got all the stuff. I think it's really important to track your performance. Yeah, it's bear market. It's not the end of the world. It won't be the last bear market. There will be a bull on the other side of it, and there will be another bear on the other side of that bull. And there'll be another bull. There'll be another bear. How long each of these will last? No idea. And then you've got things like Bitcoin happening, and you've got, ETH 2.0, merge this, and new blockchain that, and, SEC regulation this, turf war between CFTC and SEC, and you've got China this, and Russia that, Venezuela, El Salvador. Like, there's just so many things going on. I don't know, you just get in, mess around. Don't risk more than you can afford to lose with a smile, and don't quit. Don't get taken off the table. To me, a lot of this is like a poker tournament. You're going to be here for a while. Just don't get taken off the table. Just don't get taken off the table. You can last long enough to learn how to play the game in a way that works for you. And it doesn't matter what anybody else says. If you're doing something that works for you, you're winning. That's it. Now we got Spears, who's also not a financial advisor.
Subject of mine is when in doubt, zoom out. Let's see, find it. Yeah.
Possibly. There's a little setup and stuff over here. I would-
You can just show your chart to the people. Then we can just talk through it.
Yeah, it's plugged in.
Oh, okay.
All right, here we go. I'm going to talk about what is arguably the most important cycle in all of crypto, and that is the Bitcoin halving cycle. It happens about every 4 years, and a pattern emerges around these cycles that is very important because all cryptocurrencies tend to follow Bitcoin. Even like the little DeFi projects, between their rises and falls, they generally track Bitcoin. So it's important to look into that. As you can generally see on this log chart, it goes up over time. If you want to see this compared to, if it were its exponential growth. Logarithmic chart helps you see all of the different little movements in between and the repetition of the cycles. So we're going to go to the first cycle. There's always a run up, and then a drop, and then the accumulation. And then the halving happens, and the halving kicks off the next run up, where then it's a run up, it falls, and there's an accumulation. And then the halving, and there's a run up, and it falls, and you see the pattern. And so here, this is where we are right now. Just to kind of give you an idea, and that's part of why I think we won't see the bull market continue. I think most people have pretty much given up on that happening, but there's still some people I hear talking about it. But in general, things are going to continue moving the way they are most likely. And I think that it's really helpful to just look and see, where we are in the long term. Every one of these little bars here is 1 month of
How many
data.
years until work time, or months until the next halving?
So
Which
then
is the.
we're about
operating cycle.
halfway, so just under 2 years until the halving.
And that generally forces the pattern, right?
Yes.
Even if the regular economy is in a bear market.
See, that's something that we're going to have to wait and see because we've never had a halving take place during a bear market. Bitcoin was created as a response to the 2008 financial crisis, and it was kind of like in its infancy during the recovery phase of that. So we've only seen Bitcoin in a bull market so far, and things could get unpredictable. Not a financial advisor. Yeah. So when in doubt, look out. Zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out.
Yes.
There we are.
You hear that, folks? When in doubt, zoom out. Love that. Good job, Spears.
Thank you.
We're good?
Yeah, does that conclude our panel speakers? Do we have any more?
Somebody, Brian, get up here.
Anything else?
No, I think that was it.
Anyone say anything about like
Okay.
bear market? Just as philosophical?
I'm not seeing too much excitement.
Fantastic.
Yeah?
That was great.
Alrighty. What do you want me to do with the Zoom?
Am I losing connection?
What do you want me to?
I can just end it. I'll just end the meeting. So that concludes our meeting today. PDX Dinner DAO panel meeting on the bear market. I hope you guys got really good information from that. I'm sure you did if you were really
Paying attention.
So yeah, exactly. So make sure you can go back to the video and replay it. These guys are doing great in DeFi. It's changed their lives. It's changed my life. It's an amazing thing. So that was PDX Dinner DAO's presentation on the bear market, how to thrive, how to survive, how to position yourself to be in the greatest possible position for when the bull market inevitably starts back up. So great job, everybody. And that will conclude our meeting for today.
Yeah.
So
Sweet, man.
Excellent. All right, gentlemen.
Take it easy, man. Are we good?
Take it easy. We're good. I'm here. Hold on. Let me get you guys a view here of what I'm looking at. Oh, it went away. But we're in the tunnel. But anyways, I'll see you guys later. I'll talk to you guys a little bit.
Take it easy.
Take it easy, guys. Good job.
Are you gonna end it?
How do I make sure that it is recording?
I think you gotta
Work and show.
end it, Dom.
I see.
But that would provide